Does your moral compass swing as the seasons shift? Well, there's a new study out of the University of British Columbia that says loyalty, care, and fairness, well, they all have seasonality. Researchers observe that people endorse them more strongly in the spring and fall than at other times of the year. For more, we are joined by Dan Riskin, CTV Science and Technology Specialist. Good morning to you, Dan.
Good morning to you.
This is so interesting. Okay, so what would our morals, why, I should say, would our morals change depending on the time of year?
Yeah, weird, right? So what this comes from is a long-term study where for 10 years they've been asking people about just simple questions like, do you think people should live together before they're married? You know, things like that. And people answer the question, how strongly they feel on that. And they just look to see how that changes for different places and different times. And when they looked at 10 years of data, they found these oscillations in the data where people were really caring a lot more about things like traditions and respecting your elders in the spring and in the fall, much more than they were in the summer and in the winter. And so it's just a puzzling story.
Is it puzzling? Like, do we know why?
Well, they believe that it has to do with anxiety. So one of the things is that the spring and the fall are times of transition, they're times of change. You're starting school, you're getting off for the summer, whatever it is. There are changes that are happening. Those might raise anxiety. And when anxiety's higher, people look for stability. And so things like, tradition become more important. They sort of come to the forefront a little bit more. And so you might feel a little bit more strongly that it's important to respect those morals at those times of the year, whereas maybe in the middle of the summer, it's just not as present for you.
Right. That's so interesting. So you talked about this being a 10-year study, and then were they just, in terms of collecting data, they were just asking questions? Is that what they did?
This is a really cool place you can go on the internet. It's called yourmorals.org. And it's a website where you go in and it asks you a bunch of questions about what your moral compass says about these different issues. And it's kind of fun to do. It's like those quizzes you can do to find out which Hogwarts character you are or something like that. It's like a personality quiz, but it's real data. And so you give the answers and it shows you how you fall out percentile-wise compared to other people who live in your country. And that's where they get these data. And so it's collected in a really robust way, and they can see those percentiles really clearly.
Can you say that website? What is it?
Yourmorals.org.
Yourmorals.
And it's free.
.org. Okay, that's fun. Little activity if you want to do something like that today. Okay, so now that we have this data and this information, how could this play into real life scenarios?
Yeah, so this is interesting, right? Look, what if your court case is in the fall versus in the summer? What if an election is in the fall versus in the summer? It's not that people become more conservative or more liberal through the seasons. And actually, I went back through 20 years of 20 elections. I went through 20 federal elections to see what season they were and which party won, to see if it falls out with these patterns. It does not. It's really not correlated with the seasons, so there's nothing there. But what you do see is that, things like loyalty and respecting your elders and, respecting traditions, those tend to align a little bit more with conservative values. And you do see those flaring up in the fall and in the spring. And so you could make the argument that politicians who are looking to get their feet under them with those kinds of values might have more luck during those particular seasons in the spring and in the fall. But again, I didn't see that in the data, but that's not to say that there isn't a subtle picture there, and people can't go digging to try to find ways to leverage that to help their cause. You know
what comes to mind for me, Dan, is the fact that we do New Year's resolutions on December 31st, like January 1st. If we know this information and our moral compass is sort of the strongest in the spring and the fall, maybe we should rethink how we do our resolutions.
Yeah, that's a great point. Or maybe it's smart that we give ourselves an easier time because we're not so particular on New Year's, because we're kind of chill then, and we shouldn't do it during the spring and the fall, because then we might come up with stuff that's actually really hard to do, and that makes for a terrible resolution. I want the easy ones. Yeah,
we are human after all. Out of curiosity, what is your favorite season?
I'm a summer guy. I'm loving this right now. It's just been a beautiful summer so far. We've been having a great time, and I feel. What about you, though?
I'm a fall, so looking forward to that. Yeah, I am. Yeah. Anyway, Dan Riskin, great to see you as always. Have a good rest of your summer.
Pleasure. Thanks a lot.
All right.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.